Now, from the heart of the Low Country, this is News 2 at 6.
It's the Low Country's biggest race, and it was met with very big problems. We're taking a look at why the Cooper River Bridge Run started an hour late and what runners and organizers are saying about it. And it's a weekend full of festivals, from Somerville's Flower Town to James Island's Cajun Fest to Mount Pleasant's first ever Beer Fest. News 2 takes you to each unique festival. Good evening, and thanks for spending part of your night with us. I'm Laura Hettiger. Larry Collins is off tonight. A Colleton County High School senior is dead after an early morning car accident. The fatal crash happened just hours after the school's prom. Authorities say 18-year-old Wilbur Jamison was wearing a seatbelt when his car veered off Highway 63 and struck a large tree. These are pictures from Colleton County Fire and Rescue. He was airlifted from the scene to the Colleton Medical Center. The Colleton County coroner says Jamison's official cause of death is listed as multiple trauma. South Carolina Highway Patrol continues to investigate this accident. 35 years of the Cooper River Bridge Run has no doubt brought many perks to the Low Country. Officials say there's no denying its economic impact, but it's yesterday's hour-long delay that just might be what people remember most about the 2012 run. News 2's Haley Hernandez has tonight's big story.
Laura, with 44,000 runners, businesses from hotels to retailers tell me they see profits from this race all year round. So with many people disgruntled from yesterday's delay, they say they hope that won't impact future bridge runs. Several people on News 2's website say this will be their last race. With thousands of runners being shuttled from downtown Charleston to the starting line in Mount Pleasant, officials say when they should have been loading 30 buses at a time, they were only doing about 10. With 3 times more buses, they say they might have been able to make the 7 a.m. cutoff time to close the bridge. Instead, the last buses left about 7:45, they say, and that directly impacted wheelchair racers from starting on time. For safety reasons, the wheelchair race had to finish before the runners began, and due to high winds, that didn't even go as planned. Some local retailers who say their businesses see spikes about a month out from the run say while runners may never forget this year's issue, they hope they can forgive.
We probably won't forget, but I mean, we'll still, it's the bridge run, it's the biggest race in this area. So, people will still go out no matter what. It's just the thing to do at this time of year.
And the spokesman for the Cooper River Bridge Run tells me that they will hold a meeting to see what could have been done differently, but overall they feel this was a successful run. Haley Hernandez, News 2.
All right, thank you, Haley. We'll have more on this story tonight on News 2 at 11. People in Somerville are still smelling flowers and seeing a lot of green. Thousands of dollars was generated for charity this weekend during the 40th annual Flower Town Festival. Flower Town officials estimate 200,000 people enjoyed the sights, sounds, taste, and of course all those great smells of the annual event. The best part? Everything's free. Free admission, free parking, and free activities for the kids. And while you didn't have to spend any money to go, a lot of money gets donated to the YMCA.
Favorite part is the food and how the people that are really nice.
There's a very specific reason why Flower Town hosts the festival this weekend. Organizers hope people in town for the Bridge Run and all of Charleston's other festivals will spend some time in Somerville as well. Today wraps up the 3-day festival. The Low Country takes a big bite out of Louisiana cuisine today during the annual Cajun Fest. James Island County Park plays host to the 21st edition of the Cajun and Creole Food Festival. Organizers say there's really some food for everyone. Snow cones and funnel cakes for those with less exotic taste buds, and shrimp, jambalaya, alligator, and of course crawfish, and some more crawfish for those with, well, a spicier palate.
This is a huge festival we have every year. Last year we had around 9,000 folks attend, and we're thinking it's a little early for attendance numbers, but based on just sight, it looks like we have about the same number of people this year. Lots of Zydeco music, Cajun and Creole foods for sale out here. Lots of people just having a really good time.
Once all that raging Cajun food is consumed, the trash has to go somewhere. The festival works with the South Carolina Green Fair to make sure Cajun Fest is as environmentally friendly as it is family friendly. Mount Pleasant gets in on the weekend of festival fun with a local restaurant hosting its first ever beer fest. 17 North Roadside Kitchen invited people to nibble on local foods and sip locally brewed beer this afternoon. The restaurant chef invited local bands and musicians to serenade, well, who else? All those locals in attendance.
Just glad to be home, man, with everything. And, you know, it's been a while since I've been around some folks, man, that's honestly, that's been real sincere and just, you know, taking us in like they've known us all our lives.
And like Cajun Fest, Beer Fest isn't just about being local, it's also about being green. 17 North welcomes patrons to visit its sustainable garden. In a crime tracker alert tonight, 2 college football players sit behind bars for allegedly sexually assaulting 3 Lander University students at gunpoint. Police say the assaults happened on Lander's Greenwood campus in mid-March. 19-year-olds Cameron Jones and Bobby Henderson face criminal sexual conduct, kidnapping, and burglary charges. Jones and Henderson's names are now absent from Presbyterian College's football roster as Lander police continue their investigation.
You know, you still can't emphasize safety enough, and for students and faculty, staff, and folks in general, I don't care where they are, you know, you've got to, you know, keep your doors locked, and everybody's got to work together to have a safe campus.
Strong advice for any college student and just flat out anyone. SLED agents worked with Lander University in making those arrests. Also across South Carolina, the IRS says there's nothing to a tax investigation that had Governor Nikki Haley on the defensive. Governor Haley came forward denying any involvement in rumors she's tied to an audit of the Sikh temple near Columbia. It's being reported that the IRS found nothing in its investigation last fall. Haley's parents are leaders at the religious organization. Several developers in Hilton Head hope to meet with the governor to discuss plans for a possible entertainment and resort complex. Governor Haley usually doesn't have to sign off on new construction, but this possible 4,000 job-creating complex will also include a casino. Federal law states the casino must get Haley's approval because it will be operated in conjunction with Cherokee Indians. The governor routinely touts job creation, but her spokesperson says there are better ways to employ South Carolinians than in a casino. And stick with us straight ahead on News 2. It's April Fool's Day, and we want to hear some of the best pranks you've ever pulled and even some of the jokes that might have been played on you. We'll take a lighthearted look at the year's funniest day.
And we saw a beautiful day today, certainly much nicer than yesterday. More sunshine, high temperatures still well above average in the upper 70s, but it's going to get a whole lot warmer tomorrow, perhaps near record or breaking records tomorrow. We'll talk about that after the break. You're watching News 2 at 6. Mostly cloudy, but mainly dry. A slight chance of rain coming up on Wednesday, but then as we move into Thursday and Friday, I think that's when we'll have our best chance of seeing a little bit of rain this week. Not necessarily looking like severe weather right now, Laura, but it does look like we are going to be getting a little wet by the end of the work week.
Well, darn it. No one likes that. Well, Kyle, we've made it about halfway through the show without really acknowledging what holiday it is. So, happy April Fool's Day to everyone. And did you have any jokes played on you?
No, you know, I don't take too kindly to having jokes played on me, so every April Fool's Day I kind of stay in isolation and I don't answer my phone. But what about you?
No, I haven't, and I hope to keep it that way. But we wanted to know what tricks some of you've played or some jokes that were played on you. So News 2 took to the streets to find out.
Well, it was April Fool's morning. My dad usually goes to work in the morning. So what I did is I took this the spray for the sink and I put a rubber band on it and I turned the sink off. So when he came home and he turned on the sink, I sprayed him.
You know, I always wanted to be a father. And one time I got this phone call from this girl who knew that. And she called my mom's and was like, you know, I'm pregnant and blah, blah, blah. So my mom's called me hysterical. She was like, you're a father? And I was still a teenager. So I'm like, no way, there's no way I was a father. So I called this girl, I'm like, why would you call and lie? She was like, oh, April Fools, we were just kidding.
You just won the lottery in South Carolina. I can't believe it. $640 million split 3 ways. Then I all I saw is April Fool's joke, man.
Wow, a lot of pranksters in the Low Country. And again, happy April Fool's Day, everyone. Now stick with us. Still to come on News 2 at 6, the death of Trayvon Martin continues to grip the country. Coming up, we'll take you to one of the most recent and biggest rallies for the slain teenager. America tonight, national support continues for Trayvon Martin's family. Tens of thousands are expected to gather in Miami's Bayfront Park tonight to march and rally for the slain 17-year-old. The high schooler was shot and killed by Neighborhood Watch Captain George Zimmerman in February. Jay Gray has more.
A show of force and frustration in Miami. More than 1,000 gathering for Trayvon Martin.
No justice!
From the pulpits,
We pray for the officials in Florida so that they will do the right thing.
What do you want? Justice!
to the parks and practice fields. It's been a weekend of rallies and protests. The Martin family and so many supporters calling for an arrest more than a month after Trayvon's death.
It's the Sanford Police Department that's in denial. Justice needs to be served.
Though the family and friends of George Zimmerman, the community watch volunteer who fired the fatal shot, continue to say it happened in self-defense. On the Piers Morgan show, his brother Robert echoed that claim.
And there would have been George dead had he not acted decisively and instantaneously.
His attorney and others have said a call for help heard on a 911 call that night were Zimmerman. But a forensic expert, as part of a story for the Orlando Sentinel, analyzed the recording.
The test concluded that it's not the voice of Mr. Zimmerman.
And on a field where Martin once played and supporters gathered this weekend, his coach joined others, saying it's more evidence in their call for action and Zimmerman's arrest.
If he is not charged, he's definitely getting away with murder. There's nothing anyone can tell me that would tell me, show me otherwise.
It's a decision ultimately that prosecutors, police, and federal agents must make as they continue their investigation. Jay Gray, NBC News.
Stick with us. Sports with Andy Wantor is coming up next. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here at 11. Are you ready for a